guys, it's Jess. So welcome to the very first Jessicat study party. So I'm so excited to be doing a study party today because let's face it, studying is either stressful or boring more often than not. And you guys have actually been asking me a lot of the time, how do I always seem so happy and upbeat? And the truth is, sometimes I'm not always upbeat, sometimes studying is really tough. But I had this idea and I thought, why not do something really different? Why not make studying fun and engaging and motivating and inspiring? So I decided that I'm going to be throwing a study party the last Saturday of every month. So all you guys have to do is write in all of your study questions and you can send them either to my Instagram, my Facebook, my email. You can comment below, whatever you like. And I'm just going to try and read through as many as I possibly can, and I'm going to try and answer them in this time frame. And yeah, I really hope that it helps you guys out with your studies. Thanks so much for tuning in, and without further ado, I got my party hat on, so I'm going to put this guy on. I'm getting into the party mode, guys. I don't know if I can pull this off. Anyways, let's get into it. I've got my phone here and I'm going to read through some of your questions. Question 1, you guys have been writing into me asking, what is the best amount of time to study for? So I like to organise my study sessions into about 25 to 30 minute blocks at a time before taking a bit of a break. So I'd usually break for about 5 or 10 minutes just to get up, stretch my legs, make a cup of tea or something like that. But yeah, you want to be studying for around 25 to 30 minutes at a time, because studies actually show that once you study for more than 30 minutes, it becomes unproductive and it's not optimal studying anymore. Your focus starts to plateau at about 30 minutes and then it just drops right down. So yeah, I wouldn't be studying for more than 30 minutes at a time because you're going to end up fatigued and it's just going to become unproductive studying, and most likely everything that you've read after 30 minutes is going to go in one ear and out the other. So yeah, about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, so the next question is, how do I stop comparing myself to my friends in class? So I've actually had this question quite a few times come up in the last couple of months, where a lot of you guys have been mentioning that either your friends are really competitive or your classmates are really competitive, or that you just find it really hard to not compare yourself to your friends and they might be getting a lot higher grades than you are. And I think it's really important that we don't compare ourselves to others, because we all have our own unique strengths and abilities and also our own areas that we need to be improving and working on. So I think the most important thing is to set yourself some clear goals that you want to focus on and achieve for yourself, and then just try and focus on that and try and filter through all of the other chatter that goes on around you, and don't focus on what your friends are doing, because we're all different and it's just going to end up making you feel disappointed in your own marks when you have studied so hard just because someone else might do a bit better than you. So I would definitely say that they would be my tips so that you don't compare yourself to your friends. Next question, how do I stop myself from feeling restless or fidgety when I study? So I would say that it's a really good idea not to study for more than 30 minutes at a time, because that often leaves me feeling restless or fidgety as well. But the other thing that you can do is get up, have a bit of a stretch, or even do a bit of exercise before your study sessions. That way you're actually going to be able to sit down for a longer period of time and not get too restless. The other trick I like to do, and you guys are probably going to think I'm a bit weird, but any pose where your head is lower than your heart, and I learned this from yoga. So headstands, handstands, pretty much anything like that, even cartwheels. You want to be able to do those sort of poses to get the blood moving again in your body, and this also helps to oxygenate your brain, and you'll be able to focus better and you'll likely feel less restless. So you can actually use your 5 or 10 minute study breaks to just get moving and do some different yoga poses or stretch or just pace up and down, even using that time to go and get a drink of water or go to the bathroom. I prefer not to have everything I need on my desk, because it gives me an excuse to get up and stretch and get my body moving and get the blood pumping again. So try and not create this really comfy study cave for yourself where you don't have to leave for about 5 hours at a time, because that will leave you feeling restless if you don't get up and get moving. Next question, how many hours should I study in total? So I think it really depends on what grade you're in and also what part of the year you're talking about. So if it's exam time, then I usually tend to set aside half a day every day before my exam so that I make sure that I cover my topics appropriately. So I would say about 4 to 5 hours of studying for exams each day. And I like to say that because I personally think it's really important that you have equal time set aside for play as well as work, so that you're not going to get overwhelmed and stressed or even burnt out at the end of the year when it is exam time. But I think that if it's just general homework throughout the year, then they usually say about 45 minutes per subject each night. So depending on how many subjects you're doing, then that's how long you should be studying for. What's a tip for studying math? Alright, so when studying math, I think that there's no easy way to do it. I'm sorry guys. It's really one of those things where practice makes perfect. So I would just be making sure that you're doing all of your homework and answering all of those questions in your textbook, because the more you do it, the more you'll familiarize yourself with the questions and you'll be able to answer them and start getting them all right and ace your test. But I do actually have a really useful website, and I wrote it down for you guys. It's called aplusmath.com. So if you guys are in grade 8 or below, it's really good for algebra, and it has all different questions and games and activities, and you can even make flashcards online, which is really cool. My sister actually told me about it the other day, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So yeah, aplusmath.com. I'm gonna leave that in the comment box below if you want to click on it and check it out, and also let me know what you think of it. So yeah, hope that helps you with your maths. How do you stay motivated when you don't get the grades you wanted? So I think that for me, I definitely have experienced in the past feeling disappointed in myself if I didn't get that A+, or even if I didn't get that B+, whatever grade it was that I wanted to get for that assignment or test. And I think it's really normal to feel disappointed in ourselves if we don't get those grades that we were hoping for. But it's also really important to remember that our lives are made up of more than just one grade or one moment. We're so much bigger than that, and there's a bigger picture here. And so it's really important that you remember your big picture goals even, and remember what is it that you're studying for in the first place. What do you want to be when you're older? What do you want to do, and how do you want to contribute back to society? So I like to remind myself why I'm studying, and also try and think about what I did get out of that assignment or test, that I did learn something, but I just may not have gotten the grade that I wanted. So yeah, try not to focus on just the grade. Think about what you actually can take from that time at school or university or college, and what you actually got out of it as well. So yeah. Next question. How do you always stay so positive? Marshmallows are my favorite food, guys. It is my weakness. Okay, so I'm not always in the best of moods, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but I really do try and keep a smile on my face and see things with a glass half full mentality. So I think it's also really important though to mention that it's really normal to have your off days where you're not feeling so great, but I did find a really cool oxymoron that I have started to use, and it's called delightfully difficult. So it's all about seeing things in the right frame of mind, and it is in a positive light. So my dad actually was the one that brought it to my attention, and the whole idea is, do you see things as a challenge or as a problem? Because when you see it in a negative light, it's going to influence how you approach it, and it's always going to influence the end result being your grades. So it's really important to have a positive mindset when you do approach your studies, but it's also really important to acknowledge that we may not be in the best of moods all the time, but I do try. Last question. What's the best way to prepare for school during the holidays? Okay, so this is something that I used to do every single year. I would always get all of my textbooks, and I'd find out what the topics would be, and I'd try and get a hold of all of the weekly readings in advance. So if you're at university or college, you can probably log on, and it'll be about 3 weeks before you start that they'll tell you your topics and things that you need to be tackling throughout the semester. And so I would then try and get ahead of my readings, because ultimately it's going to help me stress less. And the other thing that is really helpful about getting ahead of your readings is that when you do get to class, you're familiar with all of the material, so it's all going to make a little bit more sense, and you're going to actually be able to pay more attention to what the teacher's saying, and also be able to focus on little things that you might have missed, so you can actually use it as a bit of a revision as opposed to learning something completely new and it being a little bit overwhelming. So yeah, I would definitely recommend finding out from your teachers or logging on to your university or college website and trying to access your weekly readings and trying to get ahead of your readings before class starts. But also if you're at school and you know that you have different novels that you're going to be reading and studying throughout the semester, then it can be really handy to get a hold of them early and read them throughout the summer and sit outside, get a tan, enjoy the read. And also if you can access any movies or clips about those stories, then that can also really help you to understand the text even better. So yeah, they're my tips for getting organised for school in the holidays. So that's it for today's study party. I hope that you found all of the information really helpful and that it's going to assist you with all of your studying at the moment as well. And if you're not back at school yet, then enjoy your holidays. I hope that this helps you get prepared for school. And yeah, if you guys want to have more study parties, I'm thinking it's going to be the last Saturday of every month. So all you have to do is write in all of your questions. You can comment below this video letting me know different questions you want me to cover in my next study party video. Or you can send me emails, you can message me, you can get me on Instagram and Twitter at StudyWithJess, or just use the hashtag StudyWithJess in your comments so that I can see them. And apart from that, I'm also thinking of doing an all about me video next week where you can write in all of the questions that you want me to answer, and I'm gonna have to answer them. Whatever they are, I'm gonna try and answer as many as I can in my next video, because I really want to share with you more about my life and let you guys get to know me a little bit better. And also, I would love if you guys would comment below telling me about yourselves as well. So what grade you're in, what your favorite subject is, what your favorite color is, your favorite food, anything. I just really want to get to know you guys better. So yeah, if you want to see an all about me video, if you loved the study party video, whatever it is, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!